and they go the way of Dariq Whitehead, a McDonald's All-American who entered Duke as a consensus top 10 draft prospect. However, he was slowed by foot and leg injuries, played 28 games, averaging 8 points in 21 minutes after returning from the foot injury. He shot 43% on three-pointers, tops in the ACC, recently had a second foot procedure, but is expected to be fully recovered for the start of the NBA's regular season. Dariq Whitehead going to the Brooklyn Nets, 22nd overall. Your reaction here?
There's a couple of former highly rated prospects that Adam Finkelstein told you about long ago. You should have been paying attention, that dealt with injuries, and as a result, their stock took a hit because of it. One of them is off the board. Another isn't, in Nick Smith, who I expect should be off pretty soon here. I think people in NBA circles were frankly expecting maybe Smith to go ahead of Whitehead. I'm in on Dariq Whitehead. I think that he will become a plus defender long term. I think his shot has certainly gotten better. Body-wise, clearly passes the eye test. And I think this is, particularly if you're Brooklyn in this spot, and as we talk here in real time, with the idea that they're going to keep both of these picks because there was curiosity if they might try and move one of them, Whitehead is worth the play, because if he does hit, he is a shooting guard defined at the NBA level if the long-range shot does come along, and I think that it will. I think we will look up. I think this Duke team is going to be interesting in retrospect. I think Lively is going to age beautifully, and I think we'll look back at this draft X number of years down the road, 8, 10 years, and we're going to say, wow, that Duke team from John Shire's first year, it had two of the, 10 or 15 best NBA players in that particular draft. I like Lively, and I like Whitehead to stick.
All right, let's bring back Kyle Boone, our NBA lead analyst, in terms of breaking down these prospects throughout the draft prospects. Kyle, you look at the back-to-back picks here by the Brooklyn Nets, Noah Clowney and now Dariq Whitehead. What do you make of these two picks for the Nets?
Yeah, and Clowney, I think I'm in lockstep with the rest of the panel here, that I think he's a player who will be safe. He's someone who I think projects as a quality big man in the NBA for Alabama last season. He was someone who not only protected the rim, he was a lob threat, but also showed that he could shoot the three-point shot, and I think that's really kind of his game projecting to the next level. The next pick here, I think, is more of a swing for the Nets, and it's something that I think I really like. Dariq Whitehead, someone who has had some injuries the last year, dealt with lower body injuries, had multiple surgeries. But, coming into Duke, this is a guy who was a top 10 prospect in his class, crazy athlete, crazy leaper, and someone who, even at Duke last season, actually showed quite a bit of promise despite battling through some injuries, shot around 43% from three-point range. I think showed some range as a shooter that showed real promise, projecting him ahead to the NBA level. So I like this swing for the Brooklyn Nets. They get kind of a safe prospect in Clowney at 21 with a big man, and then we got a little bit of an upside swing at 22 with Whitehead for the Brooklyn Nets here.
All right, Kyle, thanks. So, Adam, you gave Noah Clowney that pick a B. What do you give this pick, Dariq Whitehead, back-to-back?
A-, because I'm a Whitehead believer. What I will say is this, is if you didn't start watching Dariq Whitehead until he got to college, you don't know who Dariq Whitehead is as a player. And obviously I'm speaking in general terms, not to anybody here. I know we've all seen Dariq Whitehead at the Peach Jam and so on.
I discovered Dariq Whitehead just so
I'm sure you did. Yeah. Dariq Whitehead is from New Jersey. He was a high-profile prospect when he was in 8th grade, transferred to Montverde Academy midway through his 8th grade year. To maintain the humility to work and continue to perform at an elite national level when you were identified at that early in an age speaks to your character and your ability to kind of persevere through distraction. He was hurt all season at Duke. If you saw him in high school, you knew that he never moved the right way. He never had the explosiveness that he did in high school. The one thing he did that really I thought was a step in the right direction, to Matt's initial point, he shot the ball better this year than he did in high school. He was a top 5 player in high school. So my only concern is the medical. Assuming that Brooklyn did their due diligence and there's no red flags long term, bringing this guy back home, getting the chip on his shoulder when he's starting to make strides defensively, and they don't have assets in the backcourt. They've got Cam Thomas in the backcourt right now, but they've got a lot of wings. They've got an athletic big up front, Nick Claxton. They were slim in the backcourt, so this fits what they have too. That's one of the reasons why I like this.
So are you saying if you're a Brooklyn Nets fan, you should be excited about these two picks?
Yeah, I have different perspective from Kyle, and that's great because we're all projecting here. I think Whitehead is. I like Whitehead. I'm more optimistic about him if he can stay healthy. In my mind, it is not Claxton, but it's Noah who is the higher risk, higher reward prospect, just because I could see that one going either way.